Ultra Beast is such an underrated concept. Extra-dimensional creatures inspired by invasive species. The possibilities are endless to play. But did you ever think, what if a Pokemon could evolve into an Ultra Beast? This is what we're gonna do today. Years ago, I've made a gimmick transforming regular Pokemon into UBs, like these ones. So I'm gonna inspire by this comment to rework the concept to create Ultra Evolution. How this works? Well, bring some Pokemon into the Ultra wormholes and they can evolve depending on the environment. For example, if you take your Skorupi to the Ultra plant and level up, it will evolve. Well, my idea was to play with the segments that Skorupi and Drapion has, and they be like flying drones or levitating yards, you know? I guess this can fit a lot with the energy vibes and cyber energy that the Ultra plant has, which is the place you can find the Zerg tree, for example. Well, you might wonder, why chose Skorupi over Drapion, and just to keep the Skorupi body shape without the long neck, because I wanted to keep the head near to the body, while keeping the arms and tails from the OG evolution. Also note how the hands and the tail are also heads, and how everything looks like it's moving by its core. And the other reason I chose Skorupi is this typing. Check this out. This is Scorbot, a combination of Scorpion and Robot. Its codename is UB Drone. For the type, I got myself thinking if I should be Bug Steel or Bug Electric. These four-headed beasts live inside the generator of Ultra Plant, absorbing energy to ensure its orbs will be energized. Also, I think it's funny that it could change the position of the orbs so you can expect different formations of it. I just didn't have time to draw, but you can imagine shaping the orbs to form a Drapion or Rayquaza, who knows? And its shiny is red like the original, almost like a metallic scarlet. What do you think? Next one is a combo of two member ideas that had the same Pokemon to evolve, Markego. They have the priority in their ideas, so the big special thanks to the legendary members Baltai Banity and Bunny, a big special thanks for the mythical member Prowl, and a special thanks for all the numbers so far. So I like a lot Markego, even though in my Soul Silver run, I remember I had one that really didn't like me for some reason. Anyway, I made it look like the lava nails inspiration even more evident, just like the African snail, an invasive species that we have in Brazil. It will live in the volcanoes of Ultra Jungle, absorbing the magma to grow its molten body, which can make other snail Pokemon to extinction. Also, yeah, it has multiple eyes, cause I didn't think it as weird enough to be an Ultra Beast. To justify, it wouldn't be like a regular evolution. So yeah, in my from the shell and one on the helmet. But no, these are not Markego eyes. These are from the shell itself. Markego eyes are just inside the helmet, unable to see at all. So yeah, this is our UB Molten. The name for it could be Magmageddon, Fire Steel type, and with this cry. As I said, it lives in the volcanoes of Ultra Jungle, which I didn't know it had volcanoes until I see the promotional arts of Ultra Spaces. Its body much more solid than Markego, cause it is like cold lava, but it's still very hot, don't get fooled by the name. The shiny is just with some pinkish and yellow tones, and the shell looking like bronzy. Did you like it? Next, it is Crafty, suggested by a subscriber, which by the way, I know it has a mega, but why not give it an evolution related to it that is not directly involving it? How? Let me explain. Lizards can be invasive species, so we are in consonance here, right? Also, lizards shed their skin more visible in the mega, right? So, this UB concept is what if the dead skin becomes alive. This is what this evolution will become. Not exactly is crafty, but it's hoodie, with those spikes similar to the teeth, toes, and fingers. It is very flabby. It is very flabby, probably moving like in Clancy because it is totally hollow. And this happens when it lives in the water ruins. So the skins Crafty left behind in the ruins can evolve into its own being, probably something like Shedinja treatment. Kinda scary if you think about it, like in Living Hoodie there is actually that skin walking through the Strike City, perfect for Halloween vibes. Well, meet the UB shedding. It means something like, scripting from the Scraggy of the others and empty for obvious reasons. It is now fighting ghost type, and you can see why. Well, as I said, it is very clumsy, so I imagine it attacking being super flappy and being knocked out and be like it's just falling apart, like throwing clothes on the ground. I don't know if it is ultra beast enough, if this makes any sense, because I don't know if it has the ultra beast vibe, so you tell me. The shiny is just like the original one, but darker since it is dirty. As subscriber suggests, it has the Ultra Evolution inspired by those parasite birds. Wait, parasite birds? Yeah, they put the eggs into the other bird's nest. They found other Pokémon than Chansey that could fit with it. Togepi. Yeah, it likes to mimic an egg or a baby. In this evolution case, to steal other Pokémon food or even eating them is Poké and Kitty. Oh, and if you wonder which eyes are the real ones, the top head or the egg eyes, the answer is yes. Yeah, I just wanted something strange for it, so here we go. It is like imagining how Togepi would look like if it becomes a real bird. Also, it is inspired by the Pokemon Bad Egg that infects your Pokemon save, and the creepy egg with dark circles in the eyes that I don't remember the name or if it really exists at all, or it's just a false memory. I remember something really similar to this one I made. Maybe Flumpty from that weird game, I don't know. It is something that I had in my head and I couldn't find my researches for this video, so tell me in the comments if you remember. I got crazy to find out while I was making this video. Anyway, here is UB progenitor, also called as Togestalt, which means shape. My fellow designers and psychologists will recognize the name. It is like the phenomenon that our brain recognizes patterns and competes empty parts to be the figure. Pretty much like what this UB represents, don't you agree? And it is normal flying type. Yay, going back to the origins. And I forgot to say, it evolves when you go to the Ultra Forest. Probably, or most likely, a bird would live, right? In the shiny, it is as disappointing as the original, but a bit more noticeable. What do you think? These Ultra Beasts are being crazy, right? So, if you like this new gimmick and wanna see more, comment more Ultra Beasts. And if this video reach 300 likes, I'll make a part 2. Can we make this deal? Alright, next one is Stunfisk. I bet no one expected this one to get this Ultra Evolution, right? Basically, it will have the goldfish even more evident in the Ultra Evolution, because when a Stunfisk from Unova or Galar is exposed to the Ultra Deep Sea, it will rebuild its marine origins from the better Stunfisk design we know, and will become a living sea trap. Its body mimics a bigger fish with many teeth, a goddamn fake tongue, and eyes on the backs, and this is why I decided to make it more poses, since I found the design was not clear enough to give the vibe I wanted to pass. But is the other part really fake? How can we know if the tongue is fake? Well, we know that it hunts like a fly trap, waiting open until a prey steps in, maybe using the tongue to mimic a new Pokemon. I guess the weirdness is check for this one, right? So here is our UB trap, also called Stunseas. Since it can be both Stunfisks, I found it can be just ground water type to match the ground type of the both, and to reference the deep sea, or just dark ground that should be mimic and never make Stunfisk a water type. You decide. Well, as I said, it has many hunting skills like luring prey or catching an unaware one by surprise, but it can assume its baby fish shape and hunt like an apex fish like sharks. Why not? Multitasks, that's how they say. The shiny has some weird blue color combination, a little bit inspired by the original one. Did you like it? If you like this Ultra Beast, maybe you can like these other weird Pokemon I've made in this video. Like what if Shelder were an ancient entity instead of a little shell? Some crazy things like that. You might like. That's it. Bye bye, Huggies.